I'm a shift manager at a mid-size warehouse, and last Tuesday I fired a guy named Derek in the back parking lot in front of 40 people. For context, I'm 31. I've been a manager for 3 years, and Derek is 24. He'd been on my crew for about 8 months. Good kid, quiet, kept to himself. But for the last 6 weeks, his numbers had cratered. He was clocking in late, leaving early, taking longer breaks than anyone. Our department was bleeding hours, and my boss was on me every single day about it. So I started documenting. 3 write-ups in 4 weeks. Standard procedure. On the third one, HR told me I had the green light to terminate at my discretion. Here's where I should have stopped and asked questions. I didn't. Because 2 days before all this, my assistant lead, a woman named Brianna, who I've trusted for 2 years, pulled me aside and told me Derek had been bragging in the break room that he was, quote, milking the clock on purpose because he hated me and wanted to get fired so he could collect unemployment. She said he'd called me a, quote, power-tripping idiot. That was the part that got me. I went home that night genuinely angry. So Tuesday afternoon, end of shift, I walked out to the parking lot where the crew gathers before they head to their cars. And I did it loud. I told Derek he was done. I told him if he wanted to milk the clock, he could go do it somewhere else. I told him I knew what he'd been saying about me. And here's where it got really weird. Derek just stared at me. Then he said, quote, my little sister has been in the ICU for 5 weeks. I've been leaving early to relieve my mom. I never said any of that. Ask anyone. The parking lot went silent. And then this other guy, Marcus, steps forward and says Brianna had been telling people for months she wanted Derek's spot because it came with a shift differential. I checked the cameras that night. Brianna lied. Derek's HR file had a medical note from week 2 that I never opened because I delegated intake to, of course, Brianna. But here's the part I keep choking on. Derek did break policy. He didn't tell me about his sister. He told Brianna and assumed she'd passed it up. The write-ups were real. The numbers were real. By the book, the termination was clean. Half the crew won't look at me now. The other half says I followed procedure and Derek should have come to me directly, family emergency or not. Honestly, I don't even know if I was right here. I keep thinking about his face in that parking lot. I also keep thinking that if I let every personal situation override documentation, I can't run the floor. I rehired Derek the next morning with back pay, and I'm starting the process to fire Brianna. But I did it in front of 40 people, and that part I can't take back. Half my crew thinks I'm a monster who humiliated a kid taking care of his dying sister. The other half thinks I did my job, and Derek owed me a conversation he never had. AITA? Tell me in the comments.